Hello, my Lenderman shop friends. Thanks for joining me today in my wonderfully decorated garage here. We're going to talk about the Yardmax YG-1550 one more time. In my last video, you saw that I had a broken handle, and it broke right at the contact point where it attaches to the mower. And in that video, I said, well, I don't know how much more money I'm going to put into this this mower, because I've had it for 2 years, but I did say it was running well, it was mulching well, and I was fairly happy with it. And then all of a sudden that broke. So I ended up calling the company and just to find out what the cost would be to replace the handle. So after, of course, this was after thinking about how can I fix this handle so it's workable, and I couldn't come up with anything. I don't have the tools. I don't have the time, and I certainly don't have the know-how to fabricate any metal pieces. So I went ahead and called the company, and turns out the new lower handle for this machine, okay, here it is, brand new. I haven't yet put it on, obviously. Turns out that handle was $6.12. Okay, $6.12 for that handle. So I went ahead and ordered that, and actually the total cost of that, of course, was $15.12 with shipping. So I got that, but as I was taking the old handle off, those lock nuts that were on there, man, they are really hard to get off. If any of you have fiddled with getting those lock nuts off before, they were very difficult to get off. So after I took off the handle, took off those nuts and washers and bolts, and I thought, I probably should have ordered, replacement bolts, washers, and nuts. So I went ahead and did that. I did that a few days later, and the total, they came in 2 different shipments. The washers and nuts came out to $11.68, because they're all like 75 cents a piece, 96 cents a piece. If you go to Home Depot, they're all kind of the same prices. And the bolts were $8.68 total. So total replacement on all this, folks, with my nuts, washers, bolts, and the handle, the total for all of that turned out to be $35.48 for these replacement parts here, with shipping and so forth. So it turns out that I did actually pay a little bit more than I wanted to, but even if you go to Home Depot, which I was not able to find these specific type of, let's see if I can get these out for you, these specific types of bolts that go into the handle, because they have that little, I'm not even sure what that type of bolt is called, but see how it has that square piece there that fits, that has to fit right there, and you have to get that exact type of bolt. So if you have another hardware place you can go to, you can replace it there. But I can't imagine they're going to be a whole lot cheaper at a hardware place. So anyway, I'm going to work on that today. Get back to, we're in holiday season now. We're in December. So I don't know how much more time I'm going to have for leaves, but I do want to get as much as I can. It's wet now, and the yard never dries out. So when I drive my tractor over the yard, it leaves, it kind of makes a mess. So we'll see how much more I'll do. But anyway, getting back to the handle here, almost forgot to say, they actually ended up sending me the incorrect washer. See that washer right there? Because the one that came off the machine, can't get that off right now, but is a much bigger washer. That's the one that came with it. So I'm going to actually use these old washers again. These go on the underside of the deck there. So I'm going to use the old washers. And then, I don't know, maybe it was my fault. I ordered the wrong part. But I have to say, Yardmax service, obviously, aside from the washer mix-up that I'm mentioning right now, I've seen some poor reviews of Yardmax service. But each time I call them, they get right back to me. We have a conversation. They went and checked to see if the parts are there. And, the handle came within a few days. And then when I called back for all the bolts and washers and so forth, they came pretty quickly too. I mean, here I am a couple weeks out after getting all the parts, and I still haven't gotten around to doing it yet. So there was really no rush, but they got it to me pretty quickly. So anyway, I'm not going to bore you with putting the handle back on and all that, but I felt that I should probably do a follow-up video because the handle broke, and I did call Yardmax. I was pleased with their service. They sent me the parts. The rest of the mower is still functioning fairly well. I don't want to jinx myself here. So I have some mulching to do. I'm going to see if I can get this handle back on in good time today. We'll see. Hopefully it won't take too long. And I have it up here on sawhorses on actually a piece of plywood, and sitting on top of that because I didn't want to tip it over too far because I still, obviously there's some gasoline in there, there's oil in there, of course, so I didn't want to tip it too far on the ground like I did in my first video when I put it together. When there was nothing in it, you can tip it on its side. So I have it up here on my workhorse. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping that things go smoothly. I have my extension all set to go because again, when you need to put that the bolts or the nuts on, you have to get way up in there. So I fabricated this is a socket. I have a drill extension bit here, then another socket on top, just to get way up in there to get those nuts on. Okay, I think that's about it. So comments down below. Have you had to replace your handle on the Yardmax yet? Hopefully you won't have to. It's just a stress point on the handle. Oh, and I did check. I was able to check under the deck fairly well since I have it up here. I checked around all the holes where the nuts go, and no rust. I haven't seen any rust. They all still feel nice and strong at each contact point here. So that's very helpful and hopeful as well. The underside of the deck looks good. The blade looks good. So yeah, I'm hoping to get a few more years out of this before something else breaks on it. We'll see where we go from there. Okay, well, I thought I was actually done with the video, but I thought I'd show you the finished product. So here we are, all back together again. Looks like everything went together all right. I forgot how much fun it was to get the washer and the screw up into this part back here. There is not much room at all for your hand to get up there with that washer and screw, but I got it done. It was not fun. This one up here, not too bad, because that's obviously on this side of the, whatever that thing is called under there, that dam. But what I did want to point out to you is that the replacement is slightly different from the original. So you can see under here, see that little kind of dimple indentation there, right where the screws go. The old one was kind of flush all the way across here. So it went down on the deck, not like that, but it went down very flush all along here. So I didn't want to crank up, I didn't want to crank the screws too tight there because I didn't want any, I didn't want to damage that metal under there on the deck. But it seems to be pretty tight. Well, it's very tight on both sides, so I'm hoping there's no issue there as far as that goes. Being slightly different than the original. But all right, so there we go, back ready to go, back out into the yard. Okay, that's all I have for you today, folks. Thanks again for tuning in to Lenderman Shop, fixing up our handle on the Yardmax YG-1550. Let me know your thoughts below. Until our next video, take care.